Hello, procrastinators! Stop 6 trillion on the E3 gondola to fucking space was Square Enix. They kicked off the show with Guardians of the Galaxy, a generic-looking action game featuring MCU knockoffs. And after the Avengers fiasco, I trust Square Enix with a Marvel brand about as much as I trust Rimmer to not be a smeghead. Final Fantasies 1-6 are getting remastered again. Legends of Mana, forgotten subtitle, is a JRPG. The Avengers are getting a Black Panther-shaped update, although hilariously still no word on when that PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man is set to drop. There's another Hitman sniper game for mobiles. Nier is now on mobile. Some Final Fantasy mobile game is tweaking its slot machines to pay out better briefly, and even more Final Fantasy on mobile. Then Platinum re-revealed Babylon's Fall, with the biggest change being that they've apparently absolutely fucked the combat since the last time we saw it, but hey, it's a live service multiplayer game now, so who gives a shit? Life is Strange is getting a remaster, now with 100% more realistic tears. Oh, and another sequel or spin-off that I think was already announced. I don't know. These games exist in my blind spot. If I try and look at them for too long, I go all cross-eyed. And after that, they revealed a Final Fantasy 1 prequel, no, I'm not kidding, called Stranger of Chaos. Wait, sorry, it's Paradise. It's releasing for the PlayStation 3 next year. So, what? No, it's not. Please. That's a PS3 game. That's a PS... Look at that. PS... Really? Fuck. And then it ended. That was it. Half of it was that generic Guardians game and the rest was fucking Final Fantasy filler. I've had flyers from Jehovah's Witnesses with more on offer than that show. So I guess I'll do the PC gaming one as well now. Ignoring the story elements of the show and the endless calls for votes on one of several genuinely hideous PCs, and of course more cringe than that time you found those videos down the back of your grandma's cupboard, there were some games on display here. First up was Nakara Blade Point, whose entire trailer was just about how popular and cool they were, so well done you. There was a cute dodgeball /school /RPG appeared. Hello Dodgeball Academia. Chivalry shiveled all over the place. Raw Men answered the question, what if Splatoon but soup? Dying Light 2 had an interview with a developer who told us not to think of the zombies as zombies, but to instead think of them as half-alive suffering people. So zombies then. They Always Run was up next. 2D, a bit Dead Cells and a bit more Dead Cells. Then Stadia lost one of its only exclusives, as Orcs Must Die 3 is coming to PC and actual consoles next month. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song has had its haircut. Gigabash looked fun, a kaiju brawler in the same vein as War of the Monsters. And Lemniscate showed off a little bit more of its time-looping multiplayer combat. I must try that one. Space Rebels looks like a trash Kerbal Space Program, and I mean that in a good way. You seem to literally build rockets from trash. War Tales, see Lost Tark, that's how you put a T in your fucking name, shows us a band of adventurers from a really long distance away. Ixion blew up the moon, but don't worry, a giant space monster laid an egg next to it with the exact same mass, so we're fine. And the lovely Far Lone Sails is getting a sequel in Far Changing Tides. Lakeburg Legacies showed off love, birth and bitchiness in one of those social manipulation games for monsters. Killing Floor 2 has a new map set on the moon, which was blown up like 3 trailers ago. And in a world premiere, we saw Silt, a game that looks like Limbo but underwater. So, worse Limbo. Hello Neighbor 2, sequel to the beloved 38% on Metacritic original, made an appearance, and the same Jurassic Park Evolution 2 trailer was wheeled out, followed by some cringe, and then Santa arrived and dropped off a big old sack of demos. Following that was Solstice, a game with more screen shake than a TV on a bouncy castle, and we got into the technology bit. And sweet Christ! First up was a glove that makes you click a frame or two faster. Seriously, a glove that makes you click... Then we had a $350 force feedback cube for your steering wheel. This one apparently can actually rip your fucking arms off. Then we found out that the answer to the problem of what if you want to play Witcher 3 on the subway wasn't just buy the genuinely great Switch port, it was buy this $1,000 Wii U controller of a PC that looks about as light as the core of the sun. And then there was a $3,000 monitor. I don't know who that's for, but I hope I never meet them. Chaos Gate then had a trailer. Stalker was up after that. No, wait, sorry, Metro. Wait. Pioneer? Wait, Pioneer? Oh, whatever. It's nice to see Alma from Fear getting some more work. EVE Online is getting a tutorial 18 years after it first came out. Lumberhill seemed to be competitive animal herding. Aboria asked if I was ready for a challenge, but by this point I was ready for bed. And Tinykin looked fucking cute. Look at the little whatever they are doing the bidding of whatever that is. Aww. And then it was the turn of... Is that Pioneer again? Stalker? Metro... What the fuck is Chernobylite? An RPG was next, followed by a survival game so uninspired I'm surprised it hasn't been listening to a loop of Boris Johnson talking. Mecha Jammer showed off an open-world RPG that contained as many colours as a cup of coffee. Death Trash, same. And Songs of Conquest mixes classic Heroes of Might and Magic with a different title. Citizen Sleeper, though, looked interesting, a narrative RPG in space! And the show wrapped up with a look at the insides of my own eyelids. I mean, Project Warlock 2. Oh, and then Matt and I ill-advisedly stayed up for the future game show, but those memories are gone now. I just remember a screaming darkness and voices calling to me from across the void, burrowing into my soul. You know, usual late-night E3 gubbins. One left. One left.